Hi everyone, hope you're well. Today's video is going to be a chatty life update video, and it's a video that I've tried to film quite a few times and just really struggled with. So last year I tried to film it twice, I think it was, before Christmas, and then I tried to film it again last week. And yeah, I used to love these kind of videos. I used to really feel like these sorts of videos were the way of connecting with people, and there was just so much of a conversation you could have with people, and the amount of messages and emails and things like that I would get when I do a video like this, just because sometimes it's really nice when you're feeling a certain way or you're going through a certain thing, or just if you're in the same sort of like life situations as someone that you follow online. These sorts of videos I feel like are a way of getting things off my chest, which feels lovely. But what's even more lovely is other people out there would be feeling the same about things or would be struggling with things, and then if I or anyone else did videos like this, they would start a conversation, and sometimes it would actually help. And for me, that's the best thing about all this online stuff and whatever. It is connecting with people and helping people and sharing experiences and just having conversations. That is the best part of it. But I feel like, well, we're just going to get the negative stuff out of the way to begin with, and then I will hopefully have more positive things to talk about in a minute. But I feel like last year, the negativity and hate, I hate that word, that sounds funny saying I hate that word. I really don't like that word. Yeah, the hate and negativity towards bloggers, Instagrammers, YouTubers, people on social media, and in particular, I want to say parent bloggers, but I would say it's much more mum bloggers, just stepped up massively. Yeah, like there's always been negativity out there, and that is completely fine's not the right word. Constructive criticism, criticizing the way someone's done an ad campaign maybe, or I don't know, even then I don't know, like constructive criticism is a hard one, because you can constructively criticize someone, that's completely fine, but when it becomes personal criticism or gossiping or bitching, all that sort of stuff that lots of people do gossip like that's kind of a given. But the difference is, if you're gossiping to your friend over coffee or on the phone to someone, it doesn't get back to anyone, it doesn't affect them in a negative way or a horrible way. It's just you venting about something, and it doesn't then negatively impact that person's life, because it's not becoming something that is recorded, I guess. See, this is why I've really struggled to make this video, because it's hard to like articulate yourself when you feel quite emotional about something, and I don't want to sound bad, I don't want to sound like I'm saying the wrong things or anything, but that's kind of part of it. I've gotten to the stage, I think I'm past it a lot more now, where I could barely pick up my phone to do Instagram stories. I didn't really, like, as you might have seen from my YouTube channel, didn't feel like vlogging, didn't feel like doing any videos like this, didn't even really want to keep doing our family weekend vlogs that much, because I just knew that no matter what I did, there would be a small minority of people out there who were just waiting to just pick apart everything and just be really critical, and in some cases nasty and horrible. I know that it's disguised under the context of constructive criticism, but when you're talking about someone's marriage or someone's kids and how they parent, and whether you think, based off the fact you see the tiniest weeniest little fraction of their life, that you're making judgments on whether they're a fit parent, or making judgments on whether you think someone's son's autistic when they're not, that's different. That's not constructive criticism, and that's next level gossip, rumour spreading, bitchiness, character, not annihilation, that sounds very, very over the top, but if you're saying those sorts of things online, and I'd like to point out there is a particular website out there that a lot of people know about. It's a forum of apparent constructive criticism, but it's not. It's just a bunch of women gossiping and being a bit mean about people. I don't go on it. I've been on it, I think maybe I talked about this before, probably. I have on Instagram, I can't remember if I have on YouTube. it got brought to my attention. I read it then I had to read it again when people were bringing up where my kids went to school and nursery, trying to find out where I worked, talking about whether they lived near me, all that sort of stuff. So kind of like almost a little bit security wise, especially for my kids. I went on it again just to see like what was being said about locations and stuff. And then I've been on it once since, because of an incident that happened last year that I'm not going to talk about on here, because again, you don't want to add fuel to the fire. That's the problem. I feel like I don't address it very often because I feel like, yes, it affects me massively. Of course it affects me. It's horrible to know that there's something out there where there's thousands and thousands of comments about how horrendous a person you are. That is horrible. That pushes you to not very nice places. And I know from my struggles in the past of eating disorders and mental health, that it's just not a good thing for me to involve myself in or read or anything. I'm kind of more taking the ignorance is bliss route and just trying not to really hear anything about it. But obviously I get things screenshotted and sent to me, and there's a particular interest in Lachlan for some reason, about how horrendous the mum I am there. And the thing is as well, like, I could do a whole video taking down every single one of those points and proving that every single one of those really odd, nasty things that people who don't even know us and know nothing about us, because again, like I said, take Instagram stories for example. There are, I think it's something like, someone messaged something, so I had to look up how many minutes there were in a day. I think there's 1,440 minutes in a day, and you'd be lucky if there's more than 5 minutes of Instagram stories on my account on any given day. So I feel like that's a good way of showing how little you actually see of someone's life. It might seem like you see a lot, but you really don't. Even the weekend vlogs, that again is what, edited down to 8 to 10 minutes of 3 days or 2.5 days. Like, that's not a lot of time. And I feel like with a lot of people that do feel the need to be really nasty and negative and horrible about people they don't know and effectively try to ruin their lives. Like I said, there was an instant where this trolling, this negativity online came into like the real world for me, and I was confronted with a really horrible situation I had to deal with. So again, you can be gossipy, you can be bitchy, but when it's written down online and like my kids can read that in however many years time, or future employers or other people can read these like malicious lies. I'm a bit of the mindset that if you want to call me fat, call me fat. If you want to say I dress rubbish, fine. If you want to say my face looks funny or I talk funny or all these things about me that you don't like, then fine. But when you then start, like I said, talking about my relationship or my kids or things like that, that's different. That's not fair, really, because I can't critique you like that, and I wouldn't, because life's so short. And why be nasty to people? Like, why? It blows my mind. But anyway, I'm sidetracking with all that. But I feel like I've totally gone off my point about everything. But I was just trying to explain why I've not done YouTube as much, why I've not really done these sorts of videos as much. Yeah, it's just horrible. It's really horrible, and I don't read it, I don't look at it. I am made aware of it every now and again, like new things or whatever, and that's fine. And I really don't think you can stop people like that. So it's not even a case of fighting them or drawing attention to them or anything like that, because there's no point. Like, I know my truth and they know their truth, they know what they're doing online, and I'd love to know if they'd be proud of showing their families and employers or whoever else what they're writing anonymously online, because I'd really like to hope that they wouldn't be proud of it, because if they are, then that's an even deeper issue for them. That's quite worrying and concerning for them, and I really hope that if that's the case, then they recognise they probably do need help in a sense, I guess. But what can you do? But anyway, life update wise, that's been a bit of a negative drain for the last year or so, and it has triggered sort of weird anxieties and stuff that's kind of rolled into real life. So like I said, there was some comments made about localness and that, to the point where I didn't even feel comfortable dropping Isla off at school. Nursery, I feel like a lot safer in, because Lachlan and I have been going there for a very long time and I know a lot of staff and things like that. But if I was starting school a year and a bit ago and knowing all this was going on, and there were comments about the school and like the playground and stuff, like, oh, that feeling of having to walk through school gates. And I'm a kind of person who wants to make new friends and get involved in things and help out and stuff as much as I can around like work and whatever. But with Isla's school, I really struggled. I just felt like I would wait like outside the gates, not like her gates, but the gates of the school, until like literally a minute before I knew her doors would be opening, and then I'd just run in and try not to make eye contact with anyone, and then just sort of just try and hide away at the back, and then like get her when she came out and just rush off, because I just felt physically sick being in there, knowing that there might be people there watching and reporting back about like just any little thing, like that I don't know, I looked at something the wrong way, or I don't know, I didn't. Oh, it's, you know, it's bringing it all back talking about it. I am fine about it now, but it's just, there was a time last year, obviously because Rob was away so much of last year as well, where I was dealing with a lot of like the deployment emotions and things, and then having to deal with all that on top was really hard. And yeah, I feel like mental health wise, I wouldn't say it got to a point where I was really struggling, but I think if I hadn't had the help and support of like people at work who I could explain this situation to, and they'd be like, are you joking? What is wrong with people? Blah, blah, blah. And they'd bring me back into the real world and make me realise, actually, this is ridiculous. What people are saying and doing is ridiculous. But the problem is when you're exposed to a lot of like comments and lies and things about yourself, you start thinking everybody thinks of you like that. Even like your own friends, you start questioning whether people are actually wanting to be friends with you, or if they all feel the same, and everybody hates you. So it was good to have the support of the people I see in work day in day out, who a lot of them don't watch YouTube, don't do social media really at all. So having them been like, oh my days, Sarah, really helped. And obviously my family, and then Rob when he was contactable when he was away, and friends. I think without that kind of level of support, it could have gotten to a place that wasn't very healthy mental health wise because of it all. So yeah. Other updates, obviously Rob's back for a bit. He's come off the ship he was on for like 3 years, so that's like a massive change. He will be going away again this year for 6 months, but it will be a shore-based draft, which means he'll be out kind of where he was last time, but we'll be able to speak to him a lot more, and we'll be able to go and visit him, which is really exciting. He's away for like nearly all of the summer. He's away from kind of like Easterish time, so yeah, that will be a very big change then again. But for now, we've got a few months of being co-parenting and being together and being a family and being happy. So he's dropping Isle off in the mornings, which is like an absolute game changer for me, because I really struggle with the 2 drop-offs and the traffic and work, because Isla goes to school in another town. So having him around is just like, oh, so good, like makes such difference. What else is going on? But yeah, he's good. He is just starting his new job, so he's just kind of sussing it all out, but he seems quite positive, which is nice. My work's good. That's probably another thing that kind of made me take more of a step back from YouTube and things last year, was my day job stepped up a little bit in terms of like busyness and things like that. So I was getting to the point where I was having really busy days at work, and obviously having the kids by myself and whatever, and I used to be able to jump on here or jump on my laptop and edit till 1 or 2 in the morning, but I've just not had that capacity the past like 6 months, almost a year. I've just like really struggled with fitting everything in, so I've been trying to take more of a step back and kind of prioritise what I'm doing. Thanks for the Energems.
A real cuddle.
Oh, a real cuddle, they're my favourite. Rob's shaking his head in the background. Are you gonna say hi?
Hi. Hi.
You want to finish your video? Is that alright?
Come on, Peanut.
And I'll come and play.
My
Where's
Everton.
your Energems?
Where's the pesky Everton?
Where's the pesky Energem? Love you. Nah, he cracks me up. So yeah, work's really busy, but good, all good. Isla's still enjoying school. Year 1 seems to be like, I feel like in reception I knew a lot more of what was going on and you got told a lot more, and then year 1 it's been very just different. she's not coming back with as much stuff to do, whatever, which I guess is a good thing, but part of me is like, should she be doing more that I'm just not aware of? She's got her little kind of friends, her little pals that she gets on really well with, and I've actually made a little group of school mum friends now too. I think once I started getting over the whole anxiety of actually going to school on the days that I do pick up and drop Isle off, there was a couple of girls I was already quite friendly with anyway, but then I've started getting invited to more stuff, so it's really fun, it's really lovely. We had a really lovely school mums Christmas dinner out with drinks and everything, which was really nice. But yeah, school's good, so that's good. Nursery's really good as well. Lachlan's enjoying preschool. He's in the preschool section now, enjoying, well, he was enjoying forest school, and then one day he got bit by a load of bugs, so he's gotten a bit more like about going outside now. But he's really enjoying it. He's getting on really well with a lot of like the learning stuff they do. He loves his little family group, and he's making some really lovely little friendships, so he is very good too. What else is he up to? He is massively obsessed with Power Rangers. He like lives and breathes it. It's the cutest thing. But it was really hard at Christmas because the particular one he's obsessed with, they've like, all the toys are from years ago. They've like discontinued so much stuff. So yeah, managed to track down a bunch of toys on eBay, so we were all good in the end. Isla's great. She is doing gymnastics, ballet, swimming, football, so she's incredibly busy but enjoying it all. She's really struggled actually this year with, or say last year now, the deployments that Rob was doing, and just she's become like, I don't know if when they're almost 6 they hit some sort of like emotional development stage, but she's become really sensitive about a lot of stuff, and also a lot shyer. Like with us she's still like over the top and really confident or whatever, and with like loads of people she knows she's like that, but it's as if this development thing's happened and all of a sudden she hangs back a lot more and susses out situations before she actually like gets involved. So it's quite interesting. It's interesting to see like a different side of her personality coming out, but she's happy, she's busy. She's a bit like me. I can see like a lot more of me coming out in her now. She's always like looking for the next project or the next thing to do or the next, like, I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, she cracks me up. I'm trying to think what else is going on. We had a really good Christmas and New Year in Scotland. I still really miss home. I really miss Scotland, but it looks like, I think I've said before, that Rob will be doing a full Navy career. I just found this pen lid on the floor. I think that came from Lachlan. So yeah, we'll be here for longer than we were expecting to be, unless I move with the kids beforehand, depending on the next draft after this, and if we have another baby in a year or so. Yeah, I was just trying to think of more like sort of life update things, but I was gonna say we're gonna start looking for a new kitten soon. I'm very like puppy broody and kitten broody, but I think when we get a family dog it'll be in like a long time, like in however many years, once we've had all our children and moved back to Scotland and whatever. I think that's when we'll then get a puppy, but we have been looking at kittens because we lost the lovely Cosmo last year. I had a really like rubbish, like the 3-month deployment Rob did before Christmas, everything went wrong. Like I just felt like it was one of the toughest ones I've done, even though it was probably one of the shortest ones I've done. Just so many things with the kids and the house and work and whatever else just went wrong. But yeah, I lost Cosmo. She was 11, almost 12. I'd had her since I was 19, and she got ill, and we thought it was just an infected bite to begin with, so she got a lot of treatment for that. Then they found out during that treatment that she was arthritic, so she got a lot of treatment and time at the vets and whatever, and then she came home and she was fine for like a couple of weeks. Then she stopped eating again and started just not moving. Like she'd been in one spot when I went to work, and I come back and she'd been in the exact same spot. And even at night, like my mum came down to visit and she was just on the sofa. My mum was like, I think she's been on the sofa for over a day. And I was like, yeah, I don't think she's been outside. I was having to like pick her up and take her outside to see if she needed to like go to the toilet or whatever. And she just got worse and worse. And I took her to the vets and ended up having to put her down because they think she had cancer. She had a really large mass in her like kind of abdomen area, which is actually what happened with our last cat too. And the vet that I saw was the vet I'd seen for everything that happened like the month before, and he was like, she's lost too much. She'd lost 1/4 of her body weight in the matter of like 2 weeks or something. So yeah, we had to say goodbye to her, which was really horrible. But I feel like it's been a few months now, so we're ready to have another pet in the house. It feels really empty and really wrong not having a little cat pottering about. I still sometimes feel like I hear Cosmo if I'm in the house on my own at night, and I always expect to see her in all her old spots. So yeah, ready for a new little kitten or cat. Hopefully soon. We have started looking. I would love the idea of getting a rescue one, but I feel like a lot of the rescue ones need a chilled out house, and we do not have a chilled out house, so we'll see what happens. Also, big thing, we've started maybe looking at buying a house down here, which blows my mind because I said I would never ever buy a house here. I don't want to settle here, blah 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 blah. We were looking at houses in Aberdeen sort of last year, because the market for buying's kind of all right up there at the moment. But then just in terms of like the logistics of having a house up there and living here, but then not really wanting to rent it out, what do you do, blah blah blah. So we're a bit like, do we just stay in the marriage quarters, or do we get a house near where Isla's school is, so that if we do, well, we probably will still be here when Lachlan starts school next year, I guess now, that we'd be more likely to get him into the same school, basically, because we're out of catchment and this, that and the other. And it's a really, really lovely town that she goes to school in. Like, I'd love, if I had to buy a house or live here for a bit of time, that would probably be where I'd want to live. So we have started looking at a few, which terrifies me. And there is one we might see this week, but I don't know. It's still, I think because I grew up abroad and moved around a lot and was always in rented properties, I find buying a house nerve-wracking for me. I don't know why. I think it's like, I feel like it ties you to place when it doesn't actually. Like, you can easily sell houses. I don't know why I've got it in my head. So yeah, we'll see what happens. What else is going on? I feel like I've rabbited on enough in this video, this life update video. So yeah, I might just finish it. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. And thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. If you're an old subscriber and you've stuck through me not uploading much and stuff like that, it really means a lot. I want to start doing more of this sort of stuff, the conversational stuff, the stuff I love. So yeah, thank you, and I will see you soon. Bye.